Hafide, welcome to the interview, this time with John Gonzales, who just recently announced he's running for NMI delegate. Mr. Gonzales, thank you so much for joining us.
Si Zeus Masi and Hiliso, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
And so we'll start just with a bit of an introduction of yourself for those who might be meeting you for the first time.
Hafide tiro amaga umugaan zan tumaluani the other part of the world. It is my pleasure and my honor to talk to all of you, to provide you a tidbit glimpse of who I am. Guahu, my name is John Oliver de los Reyes Gonzales, better known as the Familian Bolis. My grandmother Lucia raised me in the heart of it all, in Saipan, in Tsalankanoa, just next to what is now William S. Regis Elementary School. And so I grew up with, obviously, about a homogeneous society of Samoru, and of course, growing up and mingling with our Carolinian childhood friends across the school, the other side of the fence, and the best childhood years. I'm the eldest of seven. We have three sons, my late wife Charlene, Fausto, our Don, Chin Suzuki. Bless her soul. We truly have been blessed with three sons.
And we know that this isn't your first time running for this seat. You ran in the very first delegate race. You came in third out of 9. Why now and why this year?
I felt it was another opportune time, only because, number one, our youngest son, Kiyokazu Magas, the youngest of our three sons, graduated from Kagman High School. And I felt it was, number two, ready timing. It was just right for me to once again explore the opportunity to contribute back to the islands that I so cherish and love and thankful for. So he will be heading off to hopefully, with his medical clearance, the U.S. Coast Guard Military Academy as well, to join his two older brothers who are there. And I felt, lastly, that it's a calling, if you will, to try once more to do the people's will. And I've always told myself, if it is His will, your Lord, my Lord, your will, thy will be done.
Thank you. And so I wanted to ask, since you last ran, a lot has changed. Can you talk to us a little bit about the issues that have motivated you to run, and also that you want to address in if elected in Congress?
The cornerstone of my candidacy really is premised upon two things. Number one, we have a covenant agreement. It is a mutual political agreement that etched in stone the lasting, respectful relationship between the Northern Marianas and the United States of America. In that covenant contains the pledge and the promises and the spirit of that newfound political alliance. And without those pledge and without those promise and spirit, the covenant and this lasting alliance with the United States and the Northern Marianas would not have been executed. So we must leverage that. We must bring the covenant in. I will bring the covenant in all that I will do and negotiate and advocate and legislate and request for technical funding, technical assistance and benefits and programs through that covenant. We must be progressive. We must be productive. We must be proactive. And number two, I hope to be your economy delegate. We are here in the heart of the economic center, the center of the economy of the Northern Marianas, in Garapan. Our economy has been reeling. It's stagnant. And I believe that we must progressively, proactively put our mouth in what promises to be the salvation of our islands, investing in capital, injecting capital, and stimulating and revitalizing our economy, because it's the only way that we can fund education. It's the only way that we can fund public safety, public health, and the equally important basic public services that our people rightfully deserve. And lastly, it is American. It is the obligation of our political ally, the United States, that it be apprised of the extenuating circumstances we face daily, the highest cost of living anywhere in the United States, the most remote part of the United States. Everything we ship in, everything we consume, the cost of airlines and the cost of just simply living is exorbitantly, prohibitively costly. And I believe that as your delegate, our people deserve an equalized level playing field, because we are U.S. citizens, and what makes the U.S. citizens in the mainland United States different from us. And in fact, the covenant, right? The covenant contains that basic promise and pledge by the United States, is to work with us and also upgrade and lift the quality of life of our people as members of the American political family. And I'll be remiss. Right now, the United States unequivocally, unconditionally needs us, the Northern Marianas, for its international political defense and posture. We must remain in the driver's seat and be able to leverage not only our covenant, but our premium strategic geopolitical location, and say, United States, you need us. We mean well. We're here to be alongside with you, but on one condition, that you also give us your fair share of the promise and the pledge you gave in executing this lasting political relationship in our covenant.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this would be your first elected position if you were to win?
No.
Okay, can you
I actually, thankfully, just it's not too late, not too far from after returning from college, I ran for the third constitutional convention, which was island-wide. Of course, Rhode and Tinian island-wide in the respective municipalities elected their delegates. I thankfully came in second of all the delegate candidates, to include former governors, former senators, former lieutenant governors. And it was what to become my first introduction to elective public office. And I have to say, it's been very, very humbling. And I tried again to run for the Senate just actually after I got married in 2001. I came in a close third for those two Senate seats. And then of course in 2008, when we got the first opportunity with a U.S. Congress seat for the Northern Marianas, I tried, and as you've mentioned in your earlier newscast, I came third out of 9.
And so you face a primary battle before the actual election in November.
Yes.
Tell us how you're approaching that, and if you don't win the primary, will you run as an independent?
Right. So in my letter of intent, etches my spirit of cooperation and unity. And I said, my entry paragraph was, in order to preserve unity and in order to carpe diem and capitalize upon the anticipated Republican reclaiming the U.S. national political momentum, in my opinion and in my belief, that I will support. I've extended my arm's length and my olive branch and say, it is only incumbent, it is only fair, and it is only, I think, trustworthy that I support whoever wins. And the opportunity to run for independent, I think would be for me disingenuous when I've already offered that on diplomatic terms. Our people deserve better. Opportunity and this thriving democracy for people to have this lifetime opportunity to vote and to be informed citizens is too much of a paramount honor for our people and privilege that I think any efforts to interrupt that and disrupt that is not fair and not acceptable to the people. Yeah.
So have you spoken to Kimberly King Hines since you've announced?
I actually, for the record, reached out to Kimberly in, first part of February actually, at a coffee shop in Garapan as well, nearby. And I thought she was surprised that I actually reached out to her. But, Kimberly and I are good friends, first and foremost. I totally respect her. And I felt it was incumbent and important for me to reach out to her and to the party as a gesture of genuine, authentic effort to preserve and strengthen this new opportunity and branding and organizing of the party. Again, on top of that, I did tell her about my effort and my terms that I will support, and I obviously respectfully ask her to do the same for me if and when I win the primary election.
I want to premise my next question by acknowledging that I didn't ask King Hines this because at the time she was the only one who officially announced. But you're going to have to pitch yourself to the Republican Party voters in the primary. We're still waiting to hear the details of that.
Right.
We heard it's probably around April. But why should Republican voters vote for you and not King Hines?
You know what? I will deviate from any efforts to downplay any of my opponents. In this case, my fellow Republican and sister and fellow brethren from Tinian. And I will say that I will only remain mission focused on my platform, on my proven leadership record as an executive and maybe mid-management staff at the legislature when I first got back from college, and then of course primarily the rest of my career in public service in the executive branch. And I would like to say that good luck to all the candidates, because I am so happy and I'm enjoying this campaign because we finally are giving our people choices to vote, and that's what democracy is all about. And I only want to say that I have almost 30 years, 3 decades of proven leadership record, as you've seen and maybe have heard and watched on my official announcement last Sunday at a local radio station of my extensive, expansive experience, primarily to bring and impact directly our people, because we are privileged public servants and government and staff because of the people we serve. And I hope that my record of providing nonprofit funding to our hospital, CHC, through the Volunteers Association, providing the requisite, direly needed deposit to the United Airlines to secure our charter flight to Hawaii so that the price increases will not go up, and also the almost $20 million as chairman of the NMTI trades nonprofit that we handed over to the new Public Technical Institute, and the $245 million that I was hired by NMHC under the leadership of Jesse Palacios and Jeannie P. Muffness and my partner, the finance manager. He handled finance, Jeannie handled infrastructure, Jesse handled the house rental and whatnot. And then of course I wrote the bulk of the rest of the narrative when they hired me to research, lead, and write from scratch the CDBG disaster recovery. And now we're witnessing homes in Rota, Tinian, and Saipan being built not for loans but for under grant, essentially for free, because that's what I mean about leveling and equalizing the benefits and the programs as U.S. citizens here, just like there are in the United States mainland.
So it's fair to say you're running also so that Republicans have a choice.
Exactly. And why not? How cool is that? Yeah? To have that opportunity to vet all of us, look at our records, look at our character, and look at our plans, our platform, and be informed. And if there's any questions, call me and email me at, of course, 285-META, 6382, or johnggbolles@gmail.com. I'll be more willing and I'll looking forward to sharing my plans and my dreams for our people in Luta, Tinian, Saipan, Northern Islands, and those living abroad.
I did want to talk a little bit more about the party. We also asked the other candidate this when it comes to especially the last election, which some might say is an indication of how the public feels, given that there is now an independent Democrat majority. Do you think in this election, what do you think you will do or the party should do to gain the trust and win more seats in November?
Well, I obviously yield to the new party leadership, the Central Executive Committee. I'm certainly asking no less than that very principle of regaining and strengthening the public trust and the party's stance as a prominent force in the political and economic development and the social development of our lives. To be fair, no party is not with any baggage and whatnot. And I think we should owe it to the party leaders and support the party leaders to rally behind them to regain that public trust, whether it's the Democratic Party or, in this case, the Republican Party. Number one. Number two, I want to say for the record that I want to be based on my record, on my proven leadership record, on my plans and how I have been as a human being, as a father/mother, especially at the end of my wife's life when she untimely passed. And I took over and raised 3 sons with high expectations and the genuine love and support that I gave them, and that I will pledge to continue to give it as well to our people. And I hope that's that. I want you to please base it on my record, because it is unfair, it is disingenuous, and simply just, I think, irresponsible to label people or what you want to say, guilty by association, right? I want to vote for somebody, and I have always been, based on his individuality or her individuality and her promise and her character, his character, and their plans moving forward. Because at the end of the day, when we go into that private ballot box, it is those issues, being informed, being educated about each of our candidates, that matter.
Do you have a comment, though, on the ongoing allegations of corruption from the previous administration? We see the boost hearings as one example still ongoing. What's your comment on the circumstances around?
Again, for the record, I was at Substance Abuse Addiction and Rehabilitation Office, and I have not been involved with any of these, and I choose not to be involved because my record and my discipline and my teachings from my parents, Sinang Lucia, Tatan Thomas Pop, my dad Alfredo, and my mom Maria, and all of my manomko. I'm the eldest of 7 kids. I must demonstrate in all my vain and my human weakness and sinfulness, honesty, integrity, credibility, because I must set the example for my siblings. And now, since I became a father with my late wife, I need to demonstrate that in all that I breathe and live with, because our islands are so small. And I remember our manomko ng Lucia, my mom and dad. No matter how educated you are, no matter how rich you are, if you don't have self-respect and you don't demonstrate respect for others, you're nobody. And so I lived with that mantra that, I remind myself, look at that mirror and remind yourself, who are you today, who were you yesterday, and who will you be tomorrow? And I always remind myself, I have 3 sons. I am the oldest of siblings. And all our actions will portray who we are as a person. And so I yield to the leaders to do their work. And there's the authorities, the enforcement authorities, the judiciary branch. That's their jurisdiction. That is their moral obligation to do their work, not me as a candidate. And I pray that the public trust is upheld, because we deserve no less.
And so we're just a few days out from your announcement, but what do the next few weeks look like ahead of the primary? What's your campaign strategy, if you want to call it that, or what are you up to for the next few weeks?
Yes, obviously, again, I want to celebrate life. I want to celebrate the opportunities ahead. I don't have a word challenges in my dictionary. I rather call it opportunities. I don't have the word busy in my calendar or in my dictionary. I rather call it productivity, engagement. And I look forward to doing just that. Since January, I've been visiting homes. I am having so much fun, Tomas, just listening to our people of all age and demographics and ethnicity and whatnot. It's been so uplifting and extremely humbling, again, to visit people's homes. I will focus on my plan. I will focus on my record, and how, with their support, with your vote of confidence, that together we will bring reprieve to our middle-income people, and I will, together with you, request and proactively ask for funding for new engines for new power plants in Roratin and Saipan, for our hospitals, so that we become more prevention oriented and not reactive, and replace old equipment with latest medical technology, and really just being reprieve to our people. People are losing jobs. People are going to be facing reduced hours with work, Tomas. And I have been unemployed myself since December 2022, and I feel them. Ugef no pinitizi hamzo sa ausente sa kasalokwid no timasutsuzo. But that's what I want to do. Give me that chance, because I will work together alongside with you, hopefully alongside with me. And I'm not ashamed, to ask for help, because it's only American, and it's America's obligation to help us in lieu and in reciprocating with our political and geographic location for the United States' political and especially defense posture.
One of the things our current delegate has been able to do is work with both sides of the aisle, with major leadership. What's your approach to building consensus? Especially, I think if you're elected, if anyone is elected from the Republican Party as delegate, they would also be the first Republican delegate the CNMI has ever had. So how do you see building consensus if Congress goes the other way and you're in the minority?
Oh gosh, for me, After we get elected, I believe that each one of us are representatives of our American citizens, no matter where we are, transcending political lines and political parties. The people's agenda must prevail. And if the Northern Marianas needs extenuatingly, direly needed funding, technical assistance, technical funds, and all the uplifting programs and benefits that we need as American citizens, I will proceed with that. And I will knock on every door in Congress, every U.S. major federal department, and the White House no less, and say, we are the American citizens in America's most remote frontier, and I am here because it's only American, and I am your servant, one of your hundreds of U.S. congressional members. Please help us, because when you help us, we are thriving, and that we are going to be social prosperity with economic prosperity. Again, building upon my mantra and my theme of being your economy delegate. It's very responsible, and to do otherwise because of party lines and whatnot, I think doesn't serve anybody. When we go in there after the election, we must work together. Yes, expected. The political dynamics of the United States will be there, but I will go beyond that, because we have genuine concerns, extenuating circumstances that trump all other political divisions and partisan politics.
Right, we're just at the top of the half hour, so I wanted to give you the opportunity, just like with the other candidates we interview, to directly address the constituents and share your message to them as you seek public office.
Si Jesus Masi Tomas and the people of the Commonwealth who I so respect and love, for 3 decades I have worked for you tirelessly in the government sector, public CNMI government, initially as in the legislature as a legislative assistant, writing bills and whatnot, and also in the executive branch for the most part until my last employment in December 2022. For 30 years, I've been giving of my time to you all through nonprofits, whether it be a church reading or teaching CCD for 30 years. Up until now, I'm still reading at church, by the way, and also through giving of non-profit tax funds to very, very worthy projects as the hospital, arts and culture through the FESPAC committee, arts festival, through many educational programs, through the PTSA and whatnot. My expansive exposure in Washington, D.C. as an intern, as a National Truman Scholar, working with the Department of Interior with Stella Guerra, the former Assistant Secretary, by interning at Interior and U.S. Congress, and my education and my work experience, and also having 3 sons that I'm so proud of, and I'm very much aware of the 18 to 35 year age brackets, the young people who comprise our future. I reach out to you. I so totally appreciate the opportunity to join all of you at the SOMI Awards. Was it very insightful? It was very, very humbling and rewarding to join all of you. I'm here to work for you. As your delegate, we will not leave any stone unturned. Si Jesus Masi, God bless, and let's do this. Let's rock and roll.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us for another interview with our people of the Commonwealth who are seeking public office and your vote this November. You can continue to follow our coverage on KUAM.com. Thank you so much for joining us.